Dynamo Nation, what's going on? My name is James. Thank you for being with me on today's episode. If you are new to the channel, new to Dynamo Nation, welcome. I appreciate you being here. If you are not subscribed, please take a moment to hit that subscribe button. Definitely helps out the channel. It's helping me pump out more content like this. We've seen a lot of growth in these 2 months. I appreciate all of it immensely. Anyone who has liked, commented, subscribed, emailed me, any of that, I really do appreciate all of it. So with that being said, we're going to get into today's episode. We are looking at Dynasty running back trade targets. I've got 4 names for you to take a look at here. And I believe all 4 have nice upside going forward, especially depending on certain landing spots for 2 of them. So we're going to start right away. First table up on the screen, Tony Pollard, Dallas Cowboys. Pollard has 100%, in my mind, separated himself from Ezekiel Elliott in the last half of this season. We are looking at a player in Pollard who has, on the season, 119 carries, almost 700 yards, 2 TDs. We know that he can catch the ball in the backfield, 34 receptions, 272 yards. But what I'm excited about is look at the next-gen stats for Tony Pollard. He's top 5 in 4 categories. And these are 4 categories that I like to look at when I'm looking at my running backs. We're looking at number 2 in yards per carry at 5.7 an attempt. And then the RYOE, if you're not familiar with it, that's rushing yards over expectations. So that's getting more yards than what you're being blocked for. You know, he's 3rd on a per attempt basis at 1.12. And then he's 4th overall at 128 yards. And then 4th in efficiency. That's getting north and south, making cuts, and hitting the hole. And we can see, you know, Pollard is, he's 24 years old. You can see on the screen there, he's only 24 years old. He's been with Dallas the entire time. Yet Zeke, I'm not going to sit here and destroy Zeke. He's been a great fantasy running back, great NFL running back for multiple years. But if you've watched any of the games for the Dallas Cowboys this season, there is just a difference when Pollard gets in the game versus when Zeke's in the game. There is a noticeable difference. The juice of the offense, the flow of the offense, when Pollard gets in there, he is electric. And we're seeing he's in a timeshare role right now. He's the handcuff to Zeke, and look at the numbers that he's putting up. Zeke has 1 more season left on that contract before Dallas can get out of it. So I expect Zeke to be involved next season in Dallas again, but you're going to have to grab Pollard now because he's only going to get more and more involved in that offense. The door's getting ready to slam shut on you being able to go and trade for Tony Pollard. And if Zeke were to go down with any type of injury, Tony Pollard, in my opinion, is going to be a top 5 running back in fantasy scoring. So we're seeing Zeke, and Zeke's pushing that magic 1,800 touch number for running backs. He's getting very close to that. I mean, next season could be the cliff for him. And if that were to happen, Pollard's going to get even more involved. So Tony Pollard, dynasty running back, I use him in the thumbnail for a reason, 100%. If you can go get him now. His value is not going to stay where it's at for very much longer. All right. Second running back on this list, personal favorite of mine, is Chase Edmonds. Edmonds, before his injury, was a rock-solid RB2 in PPR scoring. Rock solid. You know, he was right at 16, 17, and that's also in a timeshare. And I like looking at running backs. If you can still establish yourself as a dynasty asset while you're involved in a timeshare, that's everything to me. That shows me that you can go into any situation and still have value for me. And Chase Edmonds, he's a free agent, just like Connor's a free agent. So let's see what happens in Arizona. You know, they may decide we're going to roll with Edmonds. He's younger. You know, we drafted him. We're going to stick with him over Connor. Or Edmonds could go out and find himself in a different role somewhere else. But as we can see, I'm going to put him up on the screen here. Edmonds has been a contributor. And he has been elite in multiple categories this season when given a chance. You know, we look at Edmonds. He's only 25. We can see 82 carries, almost 500 yards and a touchdown. We know he can receive the ball, 30 receptions, 211 yards. But look at what he's done. He's top 5 in several categories that I'm excited about. He's 1st in yards per carry at 5.9 yards per carry. That's absolutely insane. 1st in efficiency, 3.02. Again, 2nd in rushing yards over expectations on a per attempt basis, 1.28 yards. And then he's 4th in rushing yards over expectations overall with 128 yards. This is a player who has shown time and time again that he can contribute to our teams. He just came back. He only got 6 carries coming off that injury, you know, against Detroit last week. and Cardinals kind of got their doors blown off, which was a surprise. But 6 carries, he was over 50 yards. Like, he's just an explosive runner. Chase Edmonds, it's not a mistake you're averaging almost 6 yards a carry, and we're closing in on 100 carries. Like, he has, and that was his biggest issue coming into the season. Everyone knew he could catch the ball, that he was a great, third down receiving back. The questions were, can he run that ball? And I think he has proven it. Edmonds is a very safe, to me, in a PPR format, a nice, safe running back too, that I think right now is extremely undervalued. A, because of he missed, 4 or 5 weeks due to that high ankle sprain. And then B, Connor has been just a TD vulture all season. So the uncertainty around Connor, if you can go in and snag him a late second-round pick in a rookie draft in 2022, I'm doing that all day
for Edmonds
if I'm in a win-now situation. So let's move on to our third running back. You knew I was going to sneak this man in here. This has been my boy all season. If you've been watching since the beginning, you know who is coming up on the screen, or you should. A.J. Dillon. I've been singing his praises since the beginning. A.J. Dillon, we're talking about a 6'1", 250-pound, running back. The Packers used a second-round pick on him. He's only in his second season. I think the sky's the limit, and I have been preaching all season that he was going to eat more and more into that workload with Aaron Jones. And what has happened since Week 10? Since Week 10, when they're both playing, it's a 48-52 split. 48% of the snaps are going to A.J. Dillon right now. So let's throw Dillon up, take a look at it. I'm really excited about him. I'm excited about his prospects. We've talked about Aaron Jones before as a Dynasty trade candidate. Someone you should be trading away right now in Dynasty due to his age and so on and so forth. We look at Dillon, though. 150 carries this season, over 600 yards, and he's shown dual threat ability in the backfield, which is great. 28 receptions for 274 yards and two touchdowns out of a 6'1", 250-pound running back. Just imagine if he gets more involved on that side of things and what he can do out of the backfield catching the ball. Like, it could be insane, his PPR numbers. And like I said, we're basically at a 50-50 split in the backfield. Since Week 10, Dillon's had 48% of the snaps. And the other thing about Dillon that doesn't get talked about a lot, he does not dance. He is first in the league in TLOS, which is the average time spent behind the line of scrimmage. Just a shade over 2.5 seconds. Like, he is getting the ball and he's hitting the hole. That's what we want to see, right? And look at what he's done already in 2021. In the regular season, fantasy football regular season just ended, he finished as the RB24, right? So he's an RB2 in PPR scoring right now, dealing with being in a timeshare and only starting to really close the gap in terms of snap shares from Week 10 on. And he finished as an RB2. He has immense upside. Again, this is someone who's very young. He's got the draft capital, and he has already shown us that he can produce at the fantasy level for our teams. This could be your last window to go out and get A.J. Dillon, honestly. And again, he's one hit away from being an RB1, a high-end RB1. 6'1", 250-pound running backs that can catch the ball, that doesn't come around often. It really doesn't. And then someone on top of that who can catch the ball, but can also get north and south and hit the hole and not dance around the backfield. I mean, that shows vision, that shows power. Like, he's a player to go get. Okay? So those are our 3 running backs that have shown us in 2021 that they can contribute. Our 4th running back is someone I've mentioned before, but I feel like he is 100% a dynasty stash, trade target right now, and that is Marlon Mack. Mack tried to force his way out of Indy. For whatever reason, they didn't trade him. Maybe they didn't get a good enough offer for him. But he has shown that he can be a high upside RB2 in PPR scoring. He's done that twice for us. We've talked about Mack before. He's been on previous videos. Let's throw him up. You can take a look at it. And with Mack, he's 25. He'll be 26 next season. So he still is relatively young, especially for an RB2. There could be a couple of seasons there where we have RB2 value. But, we look at his best season, 2019. He was over 1,000 yards that season, almost 1,100 yards. He had 8 touchdowns, okay? He's had back-to-back RB2 seasons in fantasy before, 2018 and 2019. And his issue has always been injuries. He's been hurt the last few seasons. But for me, Mack is someone who is going to have to land a prove-it deal, one, just based on the injuries, the recent injury history. But we know in 2018, 2019, this is a man who rushed, I believe he eclipsed 2,000 yards total on the ground during that time frame. and 17 touchdowns on the ground. See, he has proven that he can be productive in the right situation. And I've said it before, I can honestly see him landing in a nice spot with a team with a young quarterback that's looking to get their ground game going. He takes a 1-year prove-it deal. And who knows what happens. I don't think he's going to be he's not going to be a 3-down back because he struggles receiving the ball. But definitely first, second down work and then goal line work. He's proven he can get to the end zone. Mack is a nice dynasty trade target right now for running backs. You know, he's undervalued right now. And I believe all 4 of these players are undervalued based on current production or what we're looking at in terms of the future. So definitely these are the players that I would be looking to target. I have a few of them in most of my leagues already. I'm going to try to get the rest as the offseason goes along. Hopefully none of you guys in my leagues are looking at this video right now and realizing that I want these players. If so, then I'm going to get taxed heavily. So, I mean, cut me a deal. But yeah, so that's our video today. That's our running back dynasty trade targets. If you enjoyed the video, if you enjoyed this content, please take a moment to hit that subscribe button. Again, it definitely helps out the channel. It's going to help me pump out more stuff like this to you. So, Dynamo Nation, I appreciate you. Appreciate each and every one of you. Stay tuned. Friday, our very first subscriber feature team episode is dropping. I sent out the schedule today. So everyone who is going to have a featured video, I sent you an email. If for some reason I missed you, I believe I got everyone. If you're watching this, but you were one of the winners. If I missed you, send me an email just to remind me. All right? I got the schedule together. I have no issue sliding you in. So, all right, everyone. Have a great week. Everyone stay safe, and I'll see you.